Hidden beneath the soil, a tiny seed carries the beginning of an entire flowering plant. Then water arrives, slipping through tiny spaces until the sleeping seed begins to awaken. The seed absorbs water, swells, and quietly breaks open as its first root begins to emerge. The first root chooses a different direction, growing downward to anchor the new plant and find water. Soon, tiny side roots spread outward, creating a network that helps the young plant absorb what it needs. While the roots reach downward, another part of the young plant pushes upward toward the light. At last, the shoot reaches the surface, entering a completely new world filled with light and moving air. Two tiny leaves unfold, beginning the remarkable process that lets the plant make its own food from sunlight. Water reaches the roots, while carbon dioxide enters through the leaves, supporting the plant's growing body. With enough light and water, new leaves appear, and the little seedling begins becoming a real plant. Day by day, the stem rises and its leaves spread wider, capturing more sunlight for continued growth. When the garden becomes dry, its roots reach through the soil, searching for the moisture still available below. A stronger breeze bends the young stem, but its flexible structure helps it return upright when the wind passes. Weeks pass, and the young plant becomes stronger, building a larger body of stems, leaves, and roots. Each healthy leaf becomes a tiny solar workshop, turning light into energy that fuels the plant's next stage. Its stem rises above the grass, giving the growing plant more leaves and more opportunities to capture sunlight. As the plant grows, countless tiny visitors share its surroundings, while the rooted plant continues its quiet work. Eventually, the plant reaches maturity, with enough leaves and stored energy to prepare for something extraordinary. At the top of the stem, a small structure begins forming, signaling that the plant is ready to flower. Inside the protective bud, delicate petals and reproductive structures are quietly developing. Soon, the hidden bud will open, revealing the structures that help this plant begin its next generation. As the bud grows larger, its outer layers begin separating, preparing for the moment everything changes. Then, almost like a curtain opening, the petals unfold and reveal a beautiful flower. Inside the bloom are the flower's reproductive structures, ready for the next important step. A buzzing visitor notices the flower and lands among its bright petals, searching for nectar and pollen. As the bee moves around, pollen grains cling to its body, ready to travel with it. The bee carries that pollen onward, unknowingly helping flowering plants connect their reproductive parts. When pollen reaches a compatible stigma, the flower's journey toward making new seeds can begin. Inside the flower, pollen travels toward the ovules, leading toward fertilization and the formation of new seeds. After its reproductive work is underway, the flower slowly begins changing, while its center takes on a new purpose. The colorful petals begin to fade, but the story is far from over. New seeds are developing inside. Inside the developing structure, tiny seeds are forming, each carrying the potential for another plant. Protected inside the changing flower structure, the seeds grow stronger and prepare for their journey beyond the plant. As the plant finishes its flowering season, some leaves age, while the developing seeds continue toward maturity. Now the seeds are nearly ready, but they still need the right moment and conditions to leave their parent plant. At last, the protective structure opens, revealing the tiny seeds that carry the plant's story forward. A passing breeze shakes the structure, and one tiny seed finally becomes free. Carried away from the parent plant, the seed begins searching for a place where another journey might start. The little seed settles into fresh soil, beginning another quiet chapter beneath the garden. When rain returns, water reaches the new seed, preparing it for the same remarkable transformation. Water awakens the embryo once more, and the seed begins opening just as its parent seed once did. Its first root reaches downward again, anchoring a new plant and beginning another cycle of growth. Above the growing roots, a fresh shoot rises toward the light, continuing the story carried inside the seed. Fresh leaves unfold again, capturing sunlight and turning the tiny new plant toward its future. With each passing day, the young plant becomes taller, stronger, and better prepared for the next stage. The plant builds more leaves and stronger stems, storing the energy needed to eventually create another flower. Once mature, the plant has gathered enough resources to begin its most important transformation once again. Another flower bud appears, carrying the promise of color, pollination, and new seeds. Once again, the protective bud opens, revealing petals that will invite the garden's tiny visitors. The new bloom opens fully, displaying its petals and reproductive structures to the living garden around it. A painted lady butterfly joins the garden visitors, moving across the flower while searching for nourishment. As it visits the flower, pollen can attach to its body and travel onward to another bloom. When pollen reaches a compatible flower, another tiny step toward future seeds takes place. Again, the petals begin to fade, while the center of the flower takes on the job of developing new seeds. The new seeds develop inside their protective structure, carrying the next generation safely within. Some leaves now age naturally, but the seeds continue maturing, showing how one stage supports the next. When the seeds are mature, the protective structure dries and begins opening to release them. Inside are mature seeds, each one holding the possibility of roots, leaves, flowers, and another complete journey. A gentle breeze lifts several seeds away, giving them a chance to reach new places. Another seed lands quietly, showing that the ending of one flower can become the beginning of another. With soil, water, air, and suitable warmth nearby, the tiny seed waits for its next opportunity. When enough water reaches it, the seed swells again, beginning the remarkable process of germination. One direction reaches down, while another reaches up, giving the new plant two paths toward survival. The shoot reaches daylight, beginning another climb toward leaves, flowers, and the future. The first leaves open again, transforming sunlight into the energy needed for everything that comes next. As days become weeks, the little plant grows stronger, repeating the quiet work that plants have performed for ages. One plant may fade while another rises, creating a continuous chain of growth, flowering, and renewal. A flower's journey is never only about one bloom. Its seeds can help the story continue through countless generations. From one tiny seed to one beautiful bloom, the flower teaches us that endings can carry the beginnings of something new.